You press the sweet against his lips and he takes it without complaint. He's gonna take something else without complaint later. Hello, and welcome to Winner Takes All. This is the sequel to the Gojo Satoru dating sim, Teacher's Pet. It's been 6 years and you and Gojo are still very much in love. I hope you're ready for him to expand our domain again. Let's get started. I'm so excited. I really like these games. Cold air nips at your skin, even within the wide halls of your clan's training house. Outside, the sky hangs dark, deep blue, starless and heavy with winter's weight. The year is almost over. You sink your fingers into the thick fur of your Shikigami, a massive hound resting beside you. Its warmth seeps into your palms, grounding you. Alright, Megumi, try again. Megumi gives you his usual blank stare before nodding, his focus shifts, sharpening as he steps into position. He moves through the sequence you taught him, slipping into shadows, striking fast and controlled and steady, but still stiff in the transitions. He's diligent, maybe too diligent for a boy his age, but he's always been like this, quiet and guarded, as though the world owes him nothing. 6 years and that still hasn't changed. You watched him grow, guiding him as much as he could, but there was always a distance with Megumi. A quietness that even time hasn't touched. He and Tsumiki live in a Tokyo apartment Gojo bought for them, close to their school. It's spacious and well furnished, designed for comfort and security. You and Gojo sleep there when you can, and Megumi comes here to train when schedules allow. But between missions, clan obligations, and Gojo's endless responsibilities, there's never quite enough time to make this feel like family. Still, you try. You're about to correct Megumi's stance when you feel it, the shift in the air. Subtle but impossible to miss. And then arms snake around your waist from behind, pulling you against a firm chest. Oh, he's here! It's our husband. Well, maybe not husband yet, but it's our boyfriend. A familiar tuft of white hair brushes against your cheek as Gojo exhales dramatically. Tough day at work? A nod and another sigh, louder this time. You give your Shikigami a pat, and it trots off before returning with a lacquered box of sweets balanced carefully in its jaws. Gojo's expression lights up immediately. He leans closer, already opening his mouth, waiting. Let's tease him. You have hands. Too tired. His voice is soft, almost a mumble, and you feel your resolve slip. You press the sweet against his lips and he takes it without complaint. He's gonna take something else without complaint later. He hums softly, leaning his head against yours for just a moment. A wordless thanks. The warmth of his skin lingers, but before long, the sweets seem to do their job. Gojo straightens up, his movement sharper. What's today's lesson? Shadow movement. You both turn as Megumi steps forward again. Stepping inside a shadow, his form disappears smoothly, swallowed by the darkness. For a moment, it's perfect. No hesitation, no mistakes. But when he tries to step back out, the shadows catch at his feet and his balance wavers just slightly before he stops completely half-trapped. He gives you an embarrassed glance, asking for help, and you step in quickly, reaching out and pulling him free. Thanks. His voice is quiet, but you can manage to see the embarrassment already settling into his stiff posture. That's enough for today. You did well, Megumi. Megumi straightens immediately and bows his head slightly. Thank you, teacher. I learned a lot today. Why don't you ever thank me like that? Megumi doesn't even look at him. Gojo shifts closer, his arms looping tightly around your waist, voice low in your ear. And she's my teacher. Not anymore, I'm not. It's been like, what, 6 or 7 years? Megumi finally glances up and his blank stare sharpens into something somehow even flatter. Are you seriously competing with a 13-year-old? Gojo starts to respond, but Megumi cuts him off before he can even get the words out. I'll be going now. I'll take you back. I can go by myself. He's at the door before Gojo can finish. You watch him disappear into the cold, shoulders squared and step steady. He's more than capable of defending himself now. You and Gojo made sure of that, but it doesn't stop you from worrying. He's growing into someone strong. Someone sharp, and part of you aches with pride even when you have to scold him for being too quick to jump into fights. Behind you, Gojo sniffles. Ugh. They grow up so fast. He shifts behind you, and when you turn, his expression is unreadable. Sharp but softened at the edges. You know that look. With your schedules as chaotic as they are, missions, teaching, clan duties, moments like this are rare. And when they do come, just like Gojo later, they never feel long enough. Gojo steps closer, and your pulse jumps at the weight of his gaze. Heavy, just like his wiener. Do you want me to teleport us, or... Do we want to do it in the shadows, or do we want to teleport? I mean, we can do both. Maybe shadows. I've got this. You grab his hand and pull him into the shadows. The darkness curls around you, silent and heavy, sealing you off from everything else. You lean in at the same time, your mouths meeting in a kiss that's hungry and heated. All unspoken longing and barely contained urgency. Hee. When you finally emerge, breathless and flushed, you're in the hall of your house at the clan estate. Footsteps echo softly outside, followed by the low murmur of voices. Am I being blocked right now from doing the fandangling with Gojo? Hello? I would like him to domain expand my ass. Did Gojo leave already? I was gonna bring him tea. Yeah? Pretty sure him and Master left together. They really can't keep away from each other. If I were them, I wouldn't either. Their footsteps fade, laughter trailing behind. You exhale through your nose, shaking your head. It's not the first time you've overheard whispers about you and Gojo, and it won't be the last. Your relationship has always been a favorite source of gossip, especially here, and you shouldn't be surprised anymore. Warm breath brushes against your ear as Gojo leans in, voice low and teasing. Even they know you can't stay away from me. You snort, nudging him lightly. Look who's talking. You're the one who can't stay away. I bet you couldn't stay away from me for too long. Oh yeah, you wanna bet? Yeah? Then let's see. What? Until the clock strikes 12 on New Year's Eve, no kisses, no cuddling. Light touching is fine, but no more than that. Whoever caves first loses. Gojo's lips twitch, his sharp grin slowly returning as he considers your words. Alright, but when you lose, and you will, you'll have to put posters of me all over your clan estate. I'll choose the pictures. Oh my god, is it gonna be him butt naked absolutely slanging it? And by slanging it, let's just say, I meant his peanuts. You freeze, already picturing it. Gojo's smug face plastered across every wall and meeting room. You've got business meetings coming up soon too. Catastrophic wouldn't even begin to cover how that would look. Fine! And when you lose, no cuddling. 2 weeks. He stills, his cocky expression faltering just enough to make you smirk. You're evil. You shrug, holding out your hand. Are you in or not? Gojo hesitates, his gaze flickering between your eyes and your outstretched hand, but then his fingers curl around yours. You're on. He doesn't let go. Instead, he tugs you closer, his lips brushing just near your ear. Good luck. You'll need it. Before you can fire back, he's gone, teleporting away in a flicker of cursed energy. The space where he stood feels too quiet and too empty. Your fingers drift to your lips, your heartbeat still quick as the challenge lingers between you. This is going to be harder than you thought. Not much time passes by before your phone buzzes against the low table, breaking the quiet hum of the room. I named him Brat. Are you done with work? I got food for the kids. Come over to the apartment. You lean back, fingers pausing over the papers you've been sorting. You can practically hear his voice through the text, casual, sing-song and full of mischief. Are you sleeping there tonight? His reply comes fast. Almost too fast. Somebody is desperate. I'm assuming Gojo is like bricked up. Yeah, come keep me company. Already giving up on the bet. There's a brief pause this time and then... You wish. The corner of your mouth tugs upwards despite yourself. You set your phone down the stand, brushing imaginary dust off your sleeves. Ngozi has a plan. He's probably already scheming, waiting for you to slip up first. But you're not worried, because you have your own ideas. And you're not gonna lose. Damn right I'm not. The apartment is warm. The hum of aircon barely audible over the faint clinking of dishes and muffled conversation. The smell of food drifts through the air, rich and savory, and your stomach growls in response. Oh, look at him, he's so cute. Him in his casual wear. He looks so good. Finally, what took you so long? Gojo's voice echoes on the dining area where he's already sitting with Megumi and Tsumiki. Got caught up with work. You step inside, slipping off your shoes. The table is set, mismatched plates and chopsticks arranged neatly. The kids spend most of their meals in their rooms these days, but tonight is one of the rare moments they let themselves be coaxed out, and you're grateful for it. You set the food you brought on the table and shrug off your coat, already moving to sit when habit almost gets the better of you. Without thinking, you lean in towards Gojo. Look at the smirk on this arsehole's face. Without thinking, you lean in towards Gojo, about to kiss him. At the last second, you remember the bet and pull back. His grin is instant, sharp and self-satisfied, and you glare as his eyes gleam with amusement. That was close. Shut up, or you ignore him, focusing instead on folding your coat and draping it over the back of your chair. How was school, Tsumiki? Oh, nothing much. Her voice is light, but she perks up as she starts telling you about her day. Still, it's hard to focus when you can feel Gojo's gaze on you. Stop looking at me like that across the dining table. You picked your outfit carefully tonight. Something you know that he likes, and judging by the way his eyes darken when you move, it's working. Gojo, put your cursed tool away, but you brush it off and the conversation shifts, light and easy. Gojo teases Megumi relentlessly, pushing just enough to get a reaction while Tsumiki steps in to defend her brother. Megumi fires back with dry cutting remarks, but every so often, his gaze flicks to you as if asking, why do you even like this guy? I don't know, cause he is cute and sweet, I suppose, and he wiener big? You only smile, letting the chaos play out, because Gojo's personality is exactly why you love him so much. When dinner ends, you wash dishes together, passing plates and towels back and forth. The rhythm is easy, almost domestic, and for a while the bet slips from your mind. Tsumiki and Megumi retreat to their rooms for the night, leaving the house quiet, but then you feel it. Gojo's energy shifts, pressing closer, and before you can brace yourself, he's there. Too close. He traps you against the table. Hands braced on either side of you without touching. Gojo Satoru! Do it again. But his cursed energy hums faintly, brushing against your skin and the air tightens. Jesus! Your heart stumbles, but you force yourself to stay still, meeting his gaze head on. It's not fair that you're dressed like this. I know. His voice drops lower, rougher, and it sends a shiver down your spine. I'm just existing. Can't help it if you're affected. His eyes flick down to your lips and then lower, and when his tongue darts out to wet his own, your breath catches. If you give in now, I'll make it worth your while. Yeah, you wish I would give in. You wish I would let you into my infinite void. The words are soft, but the weight behind them is anything but. Pretend to give up. You can't stop the heat that curls low in your stomach, but you refuse to let it show. Instead, you lean in slowly, tilting your head just enough to make it look like you're about to give him what he wants. You stop, inches away, and you smirk. You're not worth losing over. For a second, something sharp flickers in his eyes, challenge and amusement colliding, but then his grin returns wider than before. He's so bad. We'll see about that. He steps back, finally, but his scent lingers and doesn't do anything to slow your pulse. Goodness gracious, gee willikers. You let out a slow breath, pressing your hands flat against the table as the weight of his presence fades. It's just for a few days. You can do this. The apartment is warm, the hum of the aircon filling the quiet. The faint smell of food lingers in the air and the papers are scattered across the table as Gojo works. You sit nearby, flicking through clan documents, trying to stay focused. I mean, I can't stay focused when he's looking at me like that. Look at him. Every so often his hand drifts to yours, fingers brushing lightly against your skin before pulling away. It's absent-minded, like he doesn't even realize he's doing it, but you do. You try and ignore the heat crawling up your neck, but it's impossible with him sitting so close. Time slips by, and the words on the page start to blur. You glance at Gojo, still sharp, still focused, like exhaustion doesn't touch him. You don't know how he keeps us up every night. You yawn, stretching before leaning slightly against his arm. He doesn't stop typing, but his hand shifts again, this time settling over yours. His thumb grazes your wrist, slow and feather light, and your breath catches before you can stop it. You close your eyes just for a moment, and you fall asleep already just like that? Her soft breathing fills the room. It's almost 4 AM now. She moved from his side to the sofa earlier, mumbling something about being more comfortable. She didn't last long after that. She never does, no matter how hard she tries to stay awake with him. He's told her before that she doesn't have to, but she always tries anyway. 6 years and his feelings for her haven't dulled. If anything, they've only grown, sinking deeper in ways he never expected or thought he'd allow, sinking deeper just like Gojo when he's in me. She may not be his tutor anymore, but she still teaches him things he never thought he needed to know. About love, about vulnerability, about being more than a weapon. Come on, let's get to bed. She mumbles something incoherent in her sleep, and he smiles softly and lifts her into his arms and carries her to their bed. Oh, that's so sweet. He looks at her lying on the mattress, gaze lingering on her face. She looks so peaceful. Too peaceful. Something in his chest tightens. If he were to lose her, no. He shuts the thought down immediately, tugging off his shirt and tossing it. His shirt just evaporated. Jesus. Good lord. He shuts the thought down immediately, tugging off his shirt and tossing it aside before climbing into bed. Her warmth is right there, tempting him, but he doesn't give in, barely touching her, despite every instinct screaming at him to pull her close. He likes these games. The teasing, the challenges. They keep things interesting, keep things normal. Or at least as normal as his life can be. Gojo looks really nice right now, I'm just gonna say. It's ridiculous, childish, but it's theirs, and he wouldn't trade it for anything. Still, he's going to win. A smirk tugs at his lips as his plan for tomorrow falls into place. He's the best at everything, after all. Your eyes flutter open against the pale morning light slipping through the curtains. The bed feels too big, too empty. Gojo must have carried you here again. You sigh, brushing your fingers over the sheets where his warmth lingers faintly. You always try to stay awake with him, stealing what little time you can before exhaustion wins. Some nights it's all you get, but mornings like this, they're not so bad either. You get ready quickly and step into the living room. Gojo's books are everywhere, stacked on shelves, scattered across the table, and even left open on the couch. He's always reading too many at once, claiming he gets bored otherwise. The sight makes you smile. You then walk into the kitchen and stop cold. Gojo's at the sink, shirtless, washing dishes like it's the most natural thing in the world. His hair is down, still messy from sleep, the strands falling into his eyes as water trails down his arms. Good God! He turns when he hears you, grinning like he knows exactly what you're thinking. What a man whore! Sleep well. You recompose yourself quickly, trying not to let your eyes linger too long. Yes. Did the kids leave for school already? Yep. Walked to the station ages ago. You nod, grabbing food to make breakfast. He doesn't move, just leans against the counter, watching you like he has all the time in the world. His stare is heavy, just like his wiener, and you pretend not to notice. Let me help. Before you can refuse, he's already behind you, leaning in far too close to grab something from the counter. His chest brushes against your back, and his breath is warm against your neck. You freeze again. Pulse quickening, but force yourself to keep moving. You're tense. His hand lands lightly on your shoulders, thumbs grazing your collarbone, barely a touch, but enough to make you shiver. You inhale sharply. Uno reverse? Let him continue? I'll let him continue. His fingers graze your skin. Light, almost teasing. Just enough to stay within the rules. It's so warm. That's it. Just relax. You feel so good like this. Sir? I haven't had breakfast yet. Bends over. Your eyes almost flutter shut, and for a moment you think maybe losing the bet wouldn't be so bad after all. Can I claim my win now? Win? You haven't won! His low whisper snaps you back, and when your eyes meet his, the smirk is already there, waiting. Careful. You wouldn't want to slip up now, would you? Your eyes lock for a beat too long before he finally steps away, leaving you gripping the counter to steady yourself. You exhale slowly. You can do this. It's only been one day. The next few days only make things harder. Neither of you shows any sign of backing down, but there's a pattern now, a rhythm. You push each other closer to the edge, teasing and tempting only to pull back at the last second. Neither of you wants the game to end. Not yet. Gojo takes every chance to provoke you. Somehow, he even arranges to land a mission with you. Naturally, it turns into a competition. Techniques sharpen, movements quicken. Each of you showing off in the subtle and not so subtle ways. Gojo's skill is breathtaking. Effortless in a way that leaves you captivated every time. It's impossible not to admire him, and deep down you're proud that you helped him get there. Not that he ever needed you to, but still. He challenges you, and you challenge him. You push each other forward, sharpening edges, leveling up together. You both almost lose the bet that day. The countdown to New Year's Eve feels longer than ever. Some days are quieter. The tension is simmering underneath the surface instead of spilling over. You work side by side at the dinner table for hours. Light touches lingering just enough to test boundaries. When he speaks, his voice dips low, smooth and deliberate, but you force yourself to ignore him. It bruises his ego, and he only tries harder to get your attention. Hehe. The evenings feel softer. Warm drinks in hand, you sit together on the balcony. The winter air is sharp but bearable with him close by. It's a different kind of closeness, still charged but quieter. You really want the bet to be over soon. The street market is crowded, warm light spilling out into the street as shoppers shuffle past the many bags on their arms. He spots them easily, her and the kids, standing by one of the stands. Their heads bent together as they argue over something. Tsumiki holds a shopping list, her expression determined, while Megumi already looks like he regrets coming. They're picking out ingredients for New Year's Eve tonight, the final day of the bet. His nerves already on fire. Coiled so tight he swears he can feel them buzzing beneath his skin. He really can't wait for it to end. Gojo stops, and for a moment he just watches, a resemblance of a family life. It's ordinary in a way his life has never been, and it scares him how much he wants to protect it. That's so cute though. How much he wants to keep her, and how much he wants to get me pregnant. She must feel his gaze because her head turns suddenly, scanning the crowd. When her eyes find his, she smiles, soft and radiant. And just like that, the cold doesn't exist anymore. His lips curl up, and before he knows it, he's moving towards her. You done shopping? Let's go eat taiyaki. Oh my god. Off-topic story, but I had the nicest taiyaki last time I was in Japan. It was filled with red bean and salted butter, and it was so good. Before she can protest, he grabs her hand and slides it into his pocket. It's warm. Her fingers squeeze his slightly, and something tight in his chest eases. They find a small stand a few blocks away. The smell of sweet batter and red bean filling the crisp evening air. Gojo buys taiyaki for everyone, and Megumi sticks closer to her side, pretending he's above the whole thing. Gojo teases him anyway, earning a glare that only makes him grin wider. Megumi acts like he doesn't care, but Gojo knows better. He remembers how she looked at the Fushiguro siblings all those years ago, and how gentle she'd been, and how she stepped in without hesitation. The kindness had cracked something in him, and it still does. He hands her a taiyaki. I want taiyaki now. Yeah, extra sweet, just like you. Oh, shut up. She rolls her eyes but takes it. Yes, I do take it. Later on, bent over, biting into the pastry as he watches. Wait, don't move. Before she can react, he leans in and presses his taiyaki against hers, pretending to make the fish pastries kiss. Look at them. They're in love. You're so silly. She laughs and uses her taiyaki to kiss his too. Megumi groans in the background. You're both ridiculous. Gojo smirks and tries to bump his pastry towards Megumi's taiyaki as well. Megumi dodges, scowling, but Gojo doesn't back down. Come here, Megumi-chan. Soon, all three of them are teasing him, laughter spilling into the cold night. And for now, that's enough. The atmosphere in the house buzzes as you prepare for New Year's. The kitchen smells amazing, and music hums softly in the background. You and Gojo keep stealing glances at each other while working. He leans against the counter, lazily peeling an apple while watching you chop vegetables. Don't cut yourself. I'd hate to see you hurt. I need you in one piece for tonight. Ask for details. Oh? And what exactly are we doing tonight? His grin sharpens. But before you can step back, he leans in slightly, close enough that his breath brushes your cheek. I'm gonna ruin you. Tie you up so tight you can't fight. What? Ah! My god! I'm gonna ruin you. Tie you up so tight you can't fight back. Just the way you like it. Just the way I what? Your whole body heats up. His words threading through you like fire. Your breathing deepens, but you fight to keep steady even as your pulse betrays you. And then just as quickly, he steps back, leaving you flushed and restless. You shouldn't have asked. Dinner comes and goes. And soon, Tsumiki and Megumi are getting ready to leave for a countdown party. Come on, you promised. This is your idea of fun, not mine. Too bad, you're still coming. She grabs his sleeve before he can argue further, dragging him out the door. Call if anything happens. Or if you need backup. I'm always ready to make an entrance. I know you are. Please don't. I'll keep him in line. And just like that, the house grows quiet. You turn back towards Gojo, who's leaning casually against the counter, arms crossed with an unmistakable smirk playing at his lips. Just us now. Don't look so smug. It's not over yet. Cleaning up the table and the rest of dinner feels heavier than it should. The minutes stretching out as the clock edges closer to midnight. Just like how Gojo is gonna edge us later. Gojo works beside you, surprisingly efficient. Though every so often you catch him glancing at you, that knowing look tugging at the corner of his lips. By the time the kitchen's clean, the tension feels heavier than it should. The clock is closing in on midnight and you're so focused on not giving in that you barely notice him step behind you. When you turn, he's already holding your coat. His glasses gone. Oh, somebody is very eager. Come here. You hesitate, briefly stunned by his eyes, but he doesn't waver, and slowly you step towards him. The fabric brushes against your arms as he helps you into the coat. It's not the softness of the material that makes you shiver, it's the way his fingers linger, barely grazing the back of your neck as he adjusts the collar. You look up, but he's already leaning in, close enough that the heat radiating off him makes your breath hitch. Hold tight. You don't need to be told twice. You wrap your arms around him and the world tilts as he teleports the two of you. Woohoo! I am so ready to be spelunked. The cold hits first, crisp and sharp against your cheeks, and then the lights. Tokyo spreads out below, glittering like an endless field of stars. Buildings stretch upwards, crowned with neon halos while traffic flows like glowing rivers. You've done this before, hovered high above the city in Gojo's arms. But tonight it feels different, more intimate, more fragile. You glance at him, his eyes sharp yet soft catch the glow of the city lights below. Fragments of gold and blue flickering in their depths. There's something almost otherworldly about him. Like he doesn't quite belong to this world, but chooses to stand here with you anyways. His beauty never stops breathtaking you. It's effortless, almost unfair, the kind that leaves you feeling unsteady no matter how many times you've seen it. And yet, it's not just his looks that make your heart stumble. It's the way he looks back at you now, like he already knows exactly what you're thinking. You can still give up. Same for you. Neither of you moves, neither of you give in. And Gojo shifts closer, his breath warming your ear as he starts counting down. 5. The city feels endless beneath you, but all you can focus on is the sound of his voice. 4. Your fingers tighten slightly against his shirt. 3. He leans in just enough that you feel the heat radiating off of him. 2. Your heart stumbles. 1. Happy New Year, my love. This is so sweet. I know he's absolutely about to roar us into the infinite void later, but my god, this is really cute. Happy New Year, Satoru. The words barely leave your lips before he's kissing you. It's soft at first, slow and careful, like he's savoring the moment, but then it deepens. All the unspoken things you've both been holding back rush to the surface. His hand slides up to cradle your face, fingers brushing against your skin like he's afraid to let go. It's only been a few days apart, but it feels like longer. Like you've been waiting for this exact moment for weeks instead of hours. When you finally pull back, fireworks explode in the distance, painting the sky in bursts of gold and red. Gojo's eyes stay locked onto yours, and for once, there's no teasing smile. Just something raw and unguarded. Just like his Guido. Yay! This is a romantic moment. So we both won. That's too bad. I was hoping to see my face everywhere in your clan. I have a feeling you're still gonna do it anyway. He grins, the teasing edge returning just enough to soften the moment. Maybe. You push him lightly and he laughs, catching your wrist and lingering just long enough to make your breath hitch. He's so cute. He's so pretty. Or maybe I'll settle for something better. Your breath catches as he tugs you in just a little closer, the heat of his body seeping into yours even through the layers of your coat. And what's that? His grin shifts, less playful, more intent. You'll see, the fireworks continue to crackle in the distance, but they feel muted now, like they belong to another world entirely. All you can hear is your own heartbeat and the promise in his voice. Oh, weird. Yep, he's so cute. Look at him. Look at him blush. Oh, I love him so much. Gojo's arms tighten around you the second you land back inside your house. Outside, the faint crackle of fireworks still echoes through the mountains. But here, alone with him, the air is thick and charged. Thick and charged, just like his peanut. The tension that's been building for days finally snaps. His lips crash onto yours, like he's been starving for you. My god. I can already feel him what? His heavenly pillar is standing upright. You have no idea how unbearable those days were. His voice is low, strained, like he's still holding back. Do you know how many times I almost broke the rules? Yeah, I do know. How many times I want to bend you out. Whoa! Your breath falters, heat pooling low, but you try to fight back. You survived. His teeth graze over your jaw, sharp and dangerous, before he grabs your chin and forces you to look at him. Barely. You bite his bottom lip, just enough to make him hiss, but it only makes his grip tighten. You can't stop the shiver that rolls down your spine when his hands drop to your hips. But you hold your ground, refusing to let him see it. You're acting like you're the only one who had to hold back. He laughs softly, but there's nothing sweet about it. Yeah? Before you can retort, his fingers His fingers brush over the fabric. This stays on. Oh, good lord. Your pulse spikes, but he's already spinning you around and pinning you against the wall, his chest pressing into your back. I don't think you held back at all. I think you liked watching me suffer. Yeah, maybe just a little. And what if I did? Oh my god. I'm just not... Jesus. That just came out of nowhere. I'm so not used to just his shirt evaporating into thin air. He laughs. His laugh drops lower, dark and dangerous. I've learned a lot in the past few years, teacher. You shiver. It's been a while since he's called you that. I think it's time for me to teach you a lesson. Sir? Hello? Oh? Let's see then. He lifts you up, carrying you effortlessly to the futon. You try to twist away, but he's already locking you in place, lying on his side. His eyes darken, and you barely have time to breathe. Oh, okay, he's really going for it. Already so sensitive. Yep, I'm just cold. He chuckles darkly. Stop stalling. Stop stalling. You're in no position to give orders. Gojo Satoru, if you don't expand my domain right now... My god, this is so distracting. Wow, it's really big. You glare at him, but the effect is ruined by the shiver that rolls through you. I bet you're thinking about it all these days. Admit it. What if I don't say it? Don't stop. I wasn't planning to. You snap first, falling apart around him. That's it, love. Jesus. Make a mess. When it's finally over, you're both breathless. So what's my grade, teacher? You barely manage a glare. He's so cute though. Untie me first, and then we'll talk. I think I like you better like this. You glare, but he grins, finally untying your wrists only to pin them down again. I didn't say I was done. Woohoo! Yay! Happy New Year, guys! Your eyes widen and he laughs softly. Happy New Year, love. You and Gojo are snuggled together near the window, a warm blanket over you wrapped in the lingering warmth of the night. The first light of dawn stretches across the horizon, painting the sky in soft hues of gold and pink. The world feels quiet, like it's holding its breath, waiting for the year to officially begin. Gojo shifts slightly, his arms tightening around you as if to keep the moment from slipping away. Outside, the sky burns with gentle colors, as if the world itself is being reborn. It reminds you of him. Radiant, untouchable, but softer in these stolen moments. First sunrise of the year. Think you can handle seeing a few more of these with me? The words settle in your chest, warm and fragile, like the first rays of sunlight creeping over the horizon. Of course, many more. And Gojo presses a quick kiss to the top of your hand before standing. I'll get something warm for us to drink. You smile, watching as he disappears around the corner. Your phone buzzes in your lap, pulling your attention away from the sunrise. It's a message from Megumi. Happy New Year. He grinned, already imagining his deadpan expression as he typed it. Happy New Year, Megumi. Another message pops up after a short pause. Thank you for being there all these years. Oh, wait. I'm gonna cry. The words hit harder than you expect. And your chest tightens. You blink a few times before typing out a reply. Let's be reassuring. You don't have to thank me for that. I'll always be here for you. His reply comes quickly. A simple thumbs up emoji. You chuckle, shaking your head at how typical it is of him. Did you send that same message to Gojo? A few seconds later, his response comes through. No. He'd frame the text and call it a historical moment. No thanks. You snort, already imagining Gojo's exaggerated reaction. True, Gojo returns, handing you a warm mug before settling back beside you. He's so gorgeous. I love him. Megami sent Happy New Year. You nudge him lightly with your elbow. For me too. Gojo hums in acknowledgement, his lips quirky into a knowing smile. But he loves me more. I don't know about that. You roll your eyes, snuggling back into his side. You let yourself relax as the sunlight streams in, bathing the room in soft golden light. Let's get breakfast with the kids. What do you feel like eating? His face brightens instantly, and he launches into an animated list of ideas, mostly sweet ones, already debating the options like it's a serious decision. You smile, letting his voice wash over you. The moment feels easy, effortless, but beneath it, the promise lingers, not just for breakfast, but for more. More mornings like this, more laughter, more memories that stretch far beyond this day. You let your eyes drift back to the sunrise, excitement blooming in your chest. Whatever the new year brings, you're ready to keep growing and learning with him. That was so cute. I love that. And that was Teacher's Pet Winner Takes All, the sequel to the Gojo Satoru dating sim. I hope you guys like this holiday special as much as I did. I really enjoyed this. I love that we got a time skip and that we got to get the Jujutsu Kaisen Zero movie version of Gojo with the bandages over his eyes, because that one is one of my favorites. But honestly, Kaiwe makes such incredible games, and her writing is so good because it's like so spicy and so action-packed and nice. But there's like little moments of just emotional vulnerability that just like get me. Like when Megumi texted us like, thanks for being there for all these years, that made me so happy and so, no, it was so cute. But thank you so much for coming on this adventure with me. If you guys like this video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one. And also, if you want to see the full spicy scene, that is available on my Patreon. The link is in the description box below. But thank you very much, guys. It's been such an incredible year, and I am so grateful for all of you for being here. Thank you for coming with me on every single adventure. And of course, as always, until next time, take care.